Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am your host for today, Laura Lalaki, International Real Estate Agent.
It's Friday.
It's Friday, y'all. Anything can happen. If y'all only
It's
knew backstage, this
Friday.
is Friday. We are just going to kick back, have fun, let the gremlins run, but just hang with us because it's going to be a fun day. So today we're diving into a conversation that was inspired by a video of Gayle King talking to Oprah about the lack of support she experienced from her ex-husband. So, for so many ambitious and high achieving women, this story feels all too familiar. So, we're going to unpack the struggles of balancing success and relationships and why some women dim their light for love and how to find a partner who celebrates your shine. So, let's get into it. Today, I am joined by my royal panel. And guys, we've already had a good time in the background, so you know we're going to have a good time on this show. We have Constance Carter, who the gremlins took from us for just a few minutes, but she'll be back. Wealth activist, Athena Gardner, CPA and wealth coach, and Tierra Williams, our producer and actress. Hi, ladies. It seems like we've kicked off on a fun note in the first place, but we're going to watch the video, but I want to get a quick response from you. Just a quick yes and no. Have you ever dimmed your light for someone you were dating? Starting with you, Tierra.
Together. Athena and I should say it together. 3, 2, 1.
No.
Yes.
That's why I be single though. I'm not. All right. We're gonna go into this later.
I'm going to give y'all the opportunity. I'm going to give you the opportunity to tell us all about it. But let's see what Gayle had to say, because I actually found the video pretty shocking. Because I've never experienced it. So that's my quick answer. All right, let's see what she's got to say. It kind of hurts.
If you have anybody in your life who is not happy for your happiness, that person ends up sucking your energy. That can also be spouses. So I ask you this question: do you think you would be where you are in your life, in your world, in your career if you had remained married?
I can say 150% absolutely not. Because this was a very smart guy, Yale-educated lawyer, former cop, really smart, very good-looking, all the good things. But for whatever reason, being married to me was difficult for him. And I can remember very clearly a conversation when he said, "I'll be glad when this Gayle King is over." And I thought, God, I want somebody that kind of likes this Gayle King. So when you think of that, no, I mean, I can remember whatever that is. And guys, listen, I was just a local TV news anchor. It's not like I was a big person. It wasn't that. But you want somebody, whatever you're doing, celebrates your success, whatever that is. And so I found myself turning down things with you, turning down going to different places because I knew that would be upsetting to him. And you want somebody who sort of cheers you on and whatever that.
That hurts. And let me tell you why it hurt. I heard her pain in that. When she repeated what she said, like, I needed you to be a part of this. Then that you can see the pain even years after. Now, it's my understanding that her husband, we do have a graphic of her ex-husband and her still years later, are friends, and they actually still have friends and they have children together. But I think her being able to tell her story now is still very painful, because some of us still want to be the mothers and the wives. And when something falls apart like that and you're being successful, you realize that you have to give up something in order to get something. So Constance, you're just now joining us. And I asked our other queens before we went to the video, have you ever dimmed your success for a partner or someone you're dating? Just a quick yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got 2 yeses and 1 no. So I'm going to start with you, Tierra. You said yes. Yeah. And I'd like to hear your little story about that and how that made you feel. How did you overcome that?
Yeah, over the years, I think just being an ambitious woman You know, I was very young when I knew that I wanted to, you know, do all of the things and move to Hollywood and be who I am. And so when I got here, even though sometimes things wouldn't, you know, in Hollywood, sometimes you have to figure out other things to do. You got to hustle, right? And if you kind of always, I just had this thing for always being able to go out and make it happen. And let's just say I'm sitting next to or across from a man who may not have that same Midas touch. It was very hard for him to, you know, it would, you know, we would have conversations at the end of the night, or I would come in and be like, guess who I met today? And it would be like, I met somebody huge today, and they said they just told me to come through and let's have a meeting. And he'd be like, oh, for real? You know, like it was just hard. You know, it was hard for him to you know, and I'm not sure if, you know, I wouldn't go as far as to say I had it and he didn't. I'm just gonna say that I'm just myself. And so sometimes people can't necessarily kind of deal with that you just have a thing and people gravitate towards you. I mean, women are like that. I also have that with some women too. It's not just men, but you know, people notice that there's something special about you and they can't always handle it.
Yes, yes, I could see that. And I have seen that in friendships. Of course, you also hear when, like, if you're out in the streets and someone's trying to holler at you, then of course that's a different situation when you get the name calling. But never in my relationship. My husband's always been very supportive. In fact, my cheerleader, when especially when I have always been down or putting myself down, or oh, I can't sing like that person. And he just immediately, of course you can't, because you sing like you know, like, and someone had a comment about something that I sang this weekend because I didn't pronounce the word that they wanted me to sing. I sang at a party and I sang Oh Holy Night, and I said divine, not divine. And this was a classic artist, and someone came back to me and said, oh, they cringed when you said that word. And my husband said, so have them sit down. They ain't doing nothing. That's my wife singing. You're not gonna sit up here and tell me she can't sing with. And I just went into this like, oh, that's my chick. Give her my man. You know, like very, very supportive. You know, I've never had that in my life, so I can't imagine how that feels. Constance, you said yes. What is your story?
So to be honest, it wasn't my ex-husband. He's always known who I was. It was actually somebody I dealt with very briefly at post my marriage. But yeah, this person, he never really celebrated me. Knew who I was when he started talking to me, knew I was a boss, knew all of these things, but every opportunity I think he would try to lower who I was, I guess maybe to make himself feel better. And I found myself, you know, just trying not to be everything that Constance Carter is to make him feel comfortable. But, you know, at some point, you just got to be you. Because like if you hamper yourself and you're not yourself, then you are not being honest with yourself and you're not going to be happy. So I remember one time I had seen him at an event and kind of hung out, and another friend that was with me didn't really know him, didn't know who he was in relation to me. And she told me, you shrink when you're around him. And I'm like, shrink? We just over here, we vibing, we having a good time. It's a concert. She said, nah, you know, I've been hanging out with you all these months. I'm used to seeing you boss. Like when you come in the room, you are Constance Carter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you're with him, it was different. And I was like, huh, what does that mean? And I didn't understand it. I even mentioned it to him. He was like, oh, you know, she just don't think that you would be with somebody little like me. I didn't even look at him as being a little person, but obviously he had some self-esteem issues to where he felt he was sort of inferior. And so, yeah.
Very interesting.
And that was probably like subconsciously too, right? It wasn't that I was trying to do it, but it was probably, you know, in an effort trying to make someone else feel more comfortable.
Yeah, I totally understand that. Now, Athena, you're the only one on our panel who said no. Do you feel like that person tried to and you stopped it, or they just saw that you were just being you and they just decided that they were just going to break for it?
You know, I've always been like this, and I don't know, thank God the divine made it this way, is I always felt like if I had to compromise on certain things with men in particular, that I'd just rather not have a man. So for most of my life, I've been single.
So I was like, maybe this advice is not best for the girls because like my advice will keep you single. But so
that's very.
I feel like, but no, in the seriousness of the topic we're talking about, it is a choice women have to make. And I always felt for the most part, when you made that choice, you don't really get anything in the long run. It comes to bite you in the butt. And I used to always see that happen. So I'm like, if I'm gonna get bit in the butt regardless, then I just rather do without you. So to be honest with you, my relationships, even though, and I think we talked about this when Dr. Alicia was on before, like months ago, they were great, but I had to end those relationships because I was outgrowing those men. And I had to make a choice. And I was like, okay, you can come with me. But if you're gonna force me to choose between my self-actualization, my growth, and the things that are important to me and you, I'm gonna choose that. But I'm single, so
yeah. No, I don't. You laugh at that, but I see it as where you are putting your boundaries, where you're telling them up front, this is what you expect. This is your level. I don't see that as a bad thing at all, Athena. Not at all.
And that's a great amount of self-awareness too.
Yeah. I mean, especially
exactly.
just to be in your age range.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I was Lala, if I could just say one other thing that I did, y'all, is like somebody offered me, you know, when I turned 30, I got an offer, like a 6-figure offer to like build a studio, build someone's film studio. And it seemed like a great opportunity. It did require that I relocate. And the person that I was with was like, well, I mean, if I have to uproot my life and, you know, if I got to do that, like, you know, what's in it for me? Are you going to give me 50% of your salary? Like off top, right? It was like, if I got to relocate, you got to give me 50% of your salary. So imagine me coming to meet with the CEO of the studio going, well, here's my partner. Right. You could take me and you could take him because, you know, what do you have for him to do? Like, it was just, y'all, it was so embarrassing. Now that I think about it, it's kind of cringy because he was like, imagine if you were walking into a Fortune 500 company and you walked in with a man saying, well, can you hire him too? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
That's what he told me. I was like,
Yes. Wow. Well, I want to hear from some of our people in our chat. Now we're talking about our experiences. So ladies, those of you who are following us, and we know that we have people all the time who follow us, share your experiences with us as well. Have you ever felt like you've had to shrink yourself because of your partner? I love this comment that's on the screen right now. I do want to address it. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. Constance, what is your initial thoughts on that comment?
When we come back from break.
Oh, thank you. I missed that.
good job. Hey, if you're just tuning in, you are watching Fly Nubian Money, where we help you master your mindset and maximize your money. I am Tiara Williams. I'm also known as Miss Black Hollywood, and I am the proud producer of this show. So I hope that every day when you join us, you leave a little smarter than you came, because that's the point. Otherwise, why are you watching? So if you want to receive notices for when we go live, Fly Nubian Money goes live every single day. That's Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you don't know, now you know. All you have to do is text the word Queens. That's Queens. That's Queens to 87948. That's 87948. That's Queens to 87948. Yes. If you want.
Yes, you want to do that right now. Just take a quick pause, pick up your assistant here, whatever you call her, and put in text the word Queens, Queens, to 87948. And that way you'll get notified every day when we go live, and you could be a part of our conversation, just like I'm asking now. So Constance, I'm going to swing on back to you. And here's what the comment was. The comment is, your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will feel insecure around you. What are your thoughts about that comment?
Yeah, I want to go back to Athena's self-awareness. And I think that's great for people to have that level of self-awareness. Sometimes we're so enthralled with a person that we put ourselves, because we're taught to put ourselves last a lot of times, especially, you know, with religion and just, you know, that humility factor. And so because we're taught that and we want to please everybody else, sometimes we end up playing small because of that very thing. But no, she's 100% right. We are best when we are at our best. We can serve others best when we are at our best. And I love, you know, I can't help the people that I help if I'm operating from a low vibrational place, right? I can't even attract the great person or people that I'm able to attract if I'm operating in a low vibration, in a low frequency. So yeah, she's 100% right.
I have to agree, and that's with anything, you know. Like I had my child when I was 16 years old. Okay, I had my whole life planned. I was ready to travel the world. I was ready to sing, but I let someone else get in my head and tell me I couldn't do those things. Wow. And in hindsight, I took a different path that was not serving for me. Now, did I learn things in that path? I did, but I also knew that there was this nagging thing behind my head that was constantly going, ying, 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 ying. And until I really opened up my thoughts and my heart to it again, I was miserable. You constantly fighting that. And you can see that in relationships. I have a friend right now in this situation. She shrinks herself so hard because he wants an old-fashioned marriage. He wants an old-fashioned relationship. She wants to go and see the world. He wants her at home in the kitchen. And my question is, why is she doesn't even want to go out for coffee anymore because
How long she been married? How long she been married?
About 5 years.
And her prefrontal cortex was developed when she met him, huh?
I'm telling you. I really don't get it. But we have a really good comment, and I want to ask you this, Athena. So David says, why is it so difficult to compromise as men and women?
Yeah.
I feel like we as people make it too much as a man versus woman thing instead of men and women together when being in compromising situations. I want to hear your thoughts on that, because, you know, you are so set in what you know that you want. Do you feel like he is right in this? And then this is what you're looking for. You don't want anything to do with, like, you know, someone trying to shrink your shine, dim your shine is what I say.
I want to put things in, I'm going to answer the question, but I want to put things in context as to why I was so self-aware. I went through a lot in my childhood and developmental years, from having a neglectful mother. And even in school, I was always different. My dad called me eccentric, and I had to call my boyfriend one time, and I was like, I'm eccentric. And he said whimsical. And I looked it up, and it was like a synonym for eccentric. So I'm not, I'm not, you know, so I had to, through that, especially around middle school, high school, I had already made certain decisions about who I was just going to show up as myself in life, because I already went through a lot of hardship. So when it came to relationships and men, it was like I already went through that fire that most people reach in their 20s, 30s, adulthood years. When it comes to compromise, and I think this word gets thrown around, I know a lot of therapists and, you know, kumbaya, and we need to come together and all this other stuff. How I always view compromise is this: my compromise has to mean something. My sacrifice has to mean something. I'm not going to compromise just the sake of compromise to make people feel good, or because I'm a woman, or whatever the case may be. If I'm compromising, it's because I'm compromising on this thing, because the goal of us together is greater than this thing right here. But for me to just be compromising because that is expected of me, because I'm a woman and I'm just supposed to compromise just to keep this relationship together, then that is a problem. Because I think the bigger issue is sometimes when it comes in the relationship space, that women are doing all these things to keep this relationship together, and it might be a signal that he just don't want to be there, or he shouldn't be.
I can't even add anything to that. With that wisdom, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You want to grow your money and not blow your money, as Constance says? Check us out at flynubianmoney.com. There's all kinds of resources, programs, videos, resources. In 2024, there's no reason to be broke when there's information all around us. So get your money right. flynubianmoney.com.
Do it. You know you want to get these resources, y'all. Listen, I can't scream it any louder. If I had a loud mouth, I would. I do have a loud mouth, but that's okay. But if I had a boom, 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 I can get you to go to the website because we have so many resources for you there. Well, you don't need to be stuck where you are. You really need to get your finances together. So where do you start? You start by going to our website and looking at what we have. Because if you really want to get yourself together, if you don't get yourself at a starting point, you're never going to see the goal line. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter if you're afraid to look at them. Oh God, I don't know what this looks like. Well, if you don't look at them, you don't even know where to begin. So you want to make sure that you go to flynubianmoney.com and get those resources and get started on protecting your wealth and your finances for your household. Do it right now. Don't make me scream into the microphone again. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Why do you think that some men feel threatened by their partner's success?
I think it's a bit of there's gender roles, right? There's what a relationship is supposed to look like. I'm supposed to be the head of the household, meaning I'm supposed to be the breadwinner. I'm supposed to be the protector. And somehow, if my woman makes more than me, or she's ambitious, or things get a little lopsided. I mean, sometimes, so Constance often talks about her marriage to her husband, right? And how he used to stay home, right? And she used to be out and being the breadwinner, right? In a lot of situations, I don't think that men want that. They don't, that's not the way it's supposed to look in America. America has taught us, or a society has taught us, that that's not the way that we're supposed to, that's not what it's supposed to look like. And so I think it's a bit of that, but now people are choosing their own relation, choosing the way that their relationships are supposed to look. I don't necessarily think that is the right way to approach it. It's just like whatever works for the relationship is the way you should it govern. But I do think it's a gender role, men feeling masculine, keeping men feeling masculine, and if they're making less, if they're not, if they're not contributing in a certain way, them feeling like they're not man enough.
Mm. And I've actually heard men say that in their relationships, which is a very scary thing to hear because life is not a competition, it's a journey. But I do want to pull up this graphic because I think it's really important for us to see this. Men's self-esteem and partners' success. Studies have found that men may experience a decline in self-esteem when their female partners succeed. For instance, research published by the American Psychological Association revealed that men felt worse about themselves when their female partners succeeded, even though they did not overtly express these feelings.
Lala, can I ask Constance? Constance, did your ex-husband, I'm sorry, did he ever at some point say, like, I felt like my masculinity was compromised because you went out and was the breadwinner? Did he
No,
ever
but
say that?
he say things like, "You won't let me be a man."
Same thing. Same thing. That's what that means.
I'm like,
What
how do I
what
let you, or how
did
do I
that
not
mean?
let you?
But
I
what
don't
did
know
that
how to
mean
make
to
you be a
you?
man, huh?
What did that mean? What did that mean to you when he told you that?
I don't know how to make somebody be anything that they don't know how to be. So if it ain't innately in you, then ain't nothing I can do about it, brother. All I could do, and he relied on me a lot for his happiness and his self-esteem and all that stuff. And that was real heavy for me. That was real heavy. And I was like, I can't do that for you. I am happy. Now, he was a role player in my happiness, right? So he wasn't the center of my happiness. I was probably the center of his, but I had all these other things going on, especially my kids, but the business, the career, friends and all that stuff. And I was that for him. And that's a hard thing to put on somebody, to make them responsible for your happiness. And that was really tough. And so his self-esteem was wrapped up in that. And it wasn't that I was not trying to make him happy. I was so focused on all these other things. I'm building a business. I'm running the business. I own real estate. I'm running that. I got 100 agents. I got kids. I got the family business. Like, it's a lot, right? And then I gotta be everything to you too. It wasn't like I ignored him. I just wasn't like, it's like, hey, let's, we got a whole ecosystem going on here. We gotta roll. And,
Right.
that's kind of how it was.
Yeah.
Wow. And then when
Wow.
you sitting home all day, real shit, all you got time to do is think. That's all you got time to do.
And you can get in your own head and make up your own stories.
I don't mind.
Athena, have you ever been told that your ambition is too much? And if you did, how did you handle it?
Listen, I've never been told that my ambition has been too much, but I felt the strain start to happen, right? Because before they tell you, ladies, you feel the strain, you feel that tension coming along, right?
Yeah.
And in those situations, right, what I really had to make a tough choice. And as women, unfortunately, the power dynamic shift. If you are trying to self-actualize and climb that pyramid, Maslow hierarchy of needs, the issue is as women climb up, because the top of the pyramid got the less space now, you will find less men who can meet you there, right?
Ooh,
and also you will find less men that can meet you there, but also the a man that is within a certain power dynamic with who is comfortable within himself, there are less of that up there. Versus as a man climbed that same pyramid and he self-actualized, his options broad and wide open, because now he can date women where he's at and all the way below the pyramid, because the power dynamics remain the same, because he feels in control of himself and in the direction of his life. So what I've also noticed when in my dating relationships or even my prior relationships is that outside of my own happiness, the most important thing was how he felt about himself, where his journey was, where he was as a man. Because even if the man was successful, because this was another thing, is like this stereotype that it's always the broke man, the broke dusty man that I talk about. I've dated men who are way more successful than me and anybody in this panel, way successful, and they still felt like they didn't like the attention I was getting. They still did not feel good about it. So it's really up to how that man feels.
Can I add something too? Because you guys hit on it earlier about I think Lala hit on competition. And a wise man told me the moment that a man feels that his woman's competition is the moment that you have a failed relationship. You guys should be complimenting each other, not in competition. It should be compromise, not competition. It should be collaboration and not competition. And to the same point, I was at an event with another guy like some months ago, and dude was like fly and he was successful, and we're having a good time, and people are coming up to him, and he knows I'm not from here, so he knows more people. He's very well connected. People coming up to him and want to take pictures with him. He's a Kappa. He looked like a silver fox, smell good, look good, clothes is tailored. We vibing, having a good time. And we were matching each other's fly. I don't know the people, but people were coming up to him, and he was confident in who he was. Right. And so I love that, because that's my energy too. Not like I wasn't trying to outshine him. I was in doing me, but it wasn't a competition, And so when you have men that are competing with you, you're a man. I'm a woman. I'm not trying to compete with you. I want to compliment you, so.
Exactly. My husband and I had a moment today where something came up that was a win for him. And all we did is we stopped together and we just did our funny little dance, and we were, supporting one another. I am generally happy for my husband when I see that he has gotten something that he's worked so hard for. And very easily I can say that when I do something, he sees it as going along. He comes and we do the dance for me. So I can't understand. And I'm grateful that I don't understand. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to understand. I feel for those who don't have what my husband and I have. because we are equally yoked. And a lot of people talk about that.
Rare.
And it is very, very rare, but it's also very, very important to understand what that means to be equally yoked. But Tiara, I want to ask you this, because I don't feel like anyone told me this. I actually just saw examples in my family of all my aunties and uncles. So do you think that women are taught to fear outshining their partners? And if we are, how do we unlearn this?
Not in my, I come from a family of very successful, ambitious women. If you've met my aunt, Minister Connie, who is also on this platform, very successful woman. They go after what they want. They taught us to be innovative and creative and all of that. And what I notice with a lot of women in my family is they date men, they date down a little, right? They because every woman, and this is the hard part, you go out and you work hard, you slay the dragon, you come home, you want somebody there to rub your feet. You want somebody there to give you a little action. You want somebody there to eat with and talk to. You want that, right? And so I think if a man doesn't, and this is kind of what I've learned, is that if he doesn't have all of the things, right? All of the things, meaning he doesn't have to have 7 figures and all the things, right? He can just be a good man of good character and you guys can build something together. He has to have some level of ambition, I guess, to be with me, but he has to want something. He has to have vision. It just taught me to look for other things, other than like just money and, all of that. But that's what I've been taught. It's not a fear. It's not a fear, but I'm okay with compromising things when it comes to that.
I think there's a whole different world and a comfort in knowing that you're out there in the world and you're put together and you're doing that thing, but you can come home and you literally can kick off them high heels and be able to just get on your couch with your loved one and say, you know what, this was a shitty day. Can we just sit down and watch movies and then just cuddle up and do what you need to do? And it's good that your partner knows that he can do the same. Like if he has a shitty day, I'd be like, guess what? Let me go get you a beer. Let's go sit down and watch a movie. There is something said about that. It makes you stronger, knowing that you have a safe place, and not having competition within that marriage. So Athena, do you think that successful women face more scrutiny in their personal lives than their men's counterparts because they want to be successful?
I think so. And I think the other issue that we have to address while we're talking about ambitious women is that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how ambitious you are. And I had to learn this early, thank God. But like a lot of us don't learn this until like a certain point. Regardless of your ambition, your accomplishment, your degrees, your money, and whatever, the men, it just seemed like at the end of the day, they want you to just love on them and cook them food. And that has been like the biggest
with Kaya.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that tonight after dark, the cooking with Kaya situation. But it just seems like as a woman, like if you are gonna take on that ambitious climb, that is in addition to we still want you to show up in this way. Like that is what their real core need seems to be, because that seems to be the complaint. The complaint when we see not only just in the social media circles, but around is the men want you to serve them in that feminine, submissive, cook my food type of role, regardless of if you are slaying a dragon like Tiara said, or building an empire like Constance said. So if the real value, and maybe the men in the chat can chime in and drop some comment, if the real value is that service, then is the answer, do women just give up their ambitions in order to have a relationship? Because that seems to be what the choice seems to be. Most ambitious women I know, including myself, are single. And the woman that can barely boil water or cook basic ass food like cooking with Kaya got a man.
That's true. I could
Well,
cook.
and it's interesting though, because
I can cook and twerk.
I can cook and clean.
And twerk.
I can
But
twerk.
I think there's something that's to be said about that too, because honestly, if you're getting what you need from that relationship, you do want to do those things. You understand? Like and it also depends on what your love language is. Listen, I could be dead dog tired, but if I know that I am safe and secure in my relationship, and I see my husband is also dead dog tired, guess what? I don't mind cooking the dinner that night. Because there are many times where if I'm just too tired, he will. So I think once your soul, your love soul has been fed, those things all balance out anyway, because you're not competing, you're growing together, you're leveling up together. You know that you're yin to your yang, and that's a very important thing. But we're going to continue this conversation. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Fly Nubian Money is now on Spotify. Yes, yes, yes. We are on Spotify. So if you can't watch us, you can listen to us. All you have to do is search Fly Nubian Money and we will appear. All of our episodes. Make sure that you leave a 5-star rating and review so other people that come along and are looking for a good show to watch, they'll follow us too. If you are interested in being on Fly Nubian Money, sorry, I don't have any spaces. I'm just playing. If you are interested in being a queen or a king on Fly Nubian Money for the day, please reach out to me. I'm at info@realvirtual.net. That's info@realvirtual.net. Also, if you need help with your business, go ahead and send me an email for that too. Okay. I've said enough. Now back to the show.
So we always talk about Spotify, and the things that you could do with Spotify with us is to take us on the go. Maybe you want to take a jog. Maybe you're driving in the car, driving home from work, and you missed the show. Well, you can hear all of our episodes on Spotify, and it's really important that you go over there and you download us over there, as well as give us a 5-star rating. When you do that, you help to support us by allowing others to see that we are a great listen as well, and they'll follow us as well. So, share the love, But most of all, one thing I don't think you all really catch on to is that magical email address that we have can also help you in your business. If there is something that you need assistance in your business and you just need a little bit of help, maybe you can't do it all. You're leveling up in 2025, right? You better come on and email us. And all you have to do is use this magical email, info@realvirtual.net. Now let me spell it, info@realvirtual.net. Now, let us help you level up your business. Now, let's dive back into this, but I am actually going to bring the video back up again, because now that we've kind of talked about it, we've heard Gayle's initial thought. Let's try to listen to it with some different ears. Let's see what she's got to say.
If you have anybody in your life who is not happy for your happiness, that person ends up sucking your energy. That can also be spouses. So I ask you this question: do you think you would be where you are in your life, in your world, in your career, if you had remained married?
I can say 150% absolutely not. Because this was a very smart guy, Yale-educated lawyer, former cop, really smart, very good-looking, all the good things. But for whatever reason, being married to me was difficult for him. And I can remember very clearly a conversation when he said, "I'll be glad when this Gayle King is over." And I thought, God, I want somebody that kind of likes this Gayle King. So when you think of that, no, I mean, I can remember whatever that is. And guys, listen, I was just a local TV news anchor. It's not like I was a big person. It wasn't that. But you want somebody, whatever you're doing celebrates your success, whatever that is. And so I found myself turning down things with you, turning down going to different places because I knew that would be upsetting to him. And you want somebody who sort of cheers you on and whatever that is.
Notice what she said, y'all. Remember I had said earlier, I have a friend that she no longer even wants to go out and have coffee because it bothers her husband. And Gayle said, I started turning down things even with you because that was going to affect her marriage. Constance, do you believe women fear losing love more than they fear losing themselves?
Yes. love is ultimately what everybody wants, right? Some people want success more than love. Some people want money more than love. Some people want other things more than love. But I think love is ultimately what we were made for. And but you just have to find the right person to love that's going to bring out the best in you in all of those areas. And so we often do compromise, other things because we want that basic need of love. There's things that, even though, red flags is remember, red flags be feeling like Six Flags when you feeling the motherfucker, right? So you overlook all of these things, and then you tend to lose yourself because you want this love so bad. And so innately, that's what we want. That's what life is about. It just has to be with the right person.
Yes, it
Healthy.
does. Now, I want to take this opportunity, though, to shout out some of our comments. We have some very supportive men in our comments. We are coming at a perspective of a woman's perspective, but we have some people who are here daily that support us, that always are a part of our conversation. We have Big Mac. He has said nothing but beautiful things about, how, he supports women and doing what they need to do, and, not trying to make them shrink. And we have David, who also has said some beautiful things. We see you out there, Kings, and we appreciate your comments, and we definitely appreciate the conversation. Keep them coming, because you know what? It uplifts us all when we hear both sides. And unfortunately, we don't have a little bit of the masculine on this side today, but we surely do appreciate you. Tiara, I want to know how you think women can navigate dating while they're maintaining their high standards and ambition.
Don't compromise. Make sure that you have boundaries. I mean, that if you allow, listen, I know a lot of people, or a lot of women tend to bend and break over, men, like Constance just said, just to have a relationship. But if you can make sure that the person that you are willing to sacrifice for, first of all, is healthy, that he is secure in himself, that he has self-esteem. I've met men who, after being with them or being in, after we started to date, I realized that he don't really like himself that much. So if he don't like himself, then he not gonna like me. Or, if, there's just making sure that that person has, has fed themselves, is coming from a healed place. They're healthy, I think that's the only, has a good character. Those things that I said earlier are very important. Those are the types of partners I think that we should walk towards. Men that know who they are. I'm actually talking to someone right now who's like, I don't mind dating a successful woman. I'll be the best person standing right behind you going, go, go, go. I like that. I like that he says that. He says it often. He's like, I don't care. Like, you can get, even, and if you don't bring seven figures up in here, you can still come up in here with me and I'll take care of you. So
So
I
what if
just
he
think,
says, what if they start calling him Mr. Tierra Williams, or they be like, get out the way, Tierra, let's let me get a picture.
he don't
Tierra.
care.
He
He
gonna be
don't
good
care.
with
He
it.
say he'll just look nice and be back there with me. He'll be in the back. So I don't mind it. I mean, well, he says he don't mind it, but it also, somebody has to be in that position. I think it's a little different when they're in the position, because men have felt like, have been out with me and felt like, Mr. Tierra Williams, like, just wow, like praising me in front of someone. It's tough. I mean, we've definitely, I've definitely had my share of men who didn't know how to handle that. So I would just want them to know who they are and feel comfortable with having a woman who is successful and ambitious.
I think this is a great question for you too. So I'm going to bounce this question to you, Athena. So how can you're dating as well. So how can women navigate the dating scene while maintaining their high standards of ambition? How is it that you do so well with it?
So I'm different than most women because I just feel like I'm just a risk taker. I'm like an all or nothing type of girl. And I'm not saying this is the best way to be because, like I said, I'm single, y'all. I'm single. I gotta ring this finger just in case anybody watching. But anyway, I'm single until I gotta ring on this finger. So I made a decision that I'm gonna be committed to myself above everything, above a family, everything. Me, what I got going on, comes first as I try to self-actualize in this lifetime. And when it comes to relationship, I just realized what was working for me, what wasn't working for me, and what's working for most women and what's not working for women. And I was like, okay, if I see certain patterns and formula that work, I'm just going to lean towards what work. I am not dating anybody who is not at a level of professional and success, who is not at a level of character that I want. I'm not doing none of that. So that right in itself eliminated a lot of confusion, distraction, and people off the chessboard. Really, the chessboard is very bare because of just one decision. But I think the mistake a lot of women make, or even a lot of people in dating make, is at first you're trying to get all this quantity. You just want to explore all these options, right? But it's not the quantity of the options, it's the quality of the options. And
There's
then
so
who
many
likes
options out here, though. Oh, it's just so many. It's
no.
like Lay's potato chips. Nobody can have just one.
I remember my daddy I said, who you like must like you. I remember my daddy told me that. He said, who you like must like you. So your option is really who like you. But the other aspect of it is, what I realized too is the dating process in general. I can't speak for a man because I'm not a man. For a woman, I feel like, and I was talking to somebody about this, I feel like dating gaslights you as a woman. Because when you actually meet a man that meets your requirements and is a quality man, you just realize that all that other dating stuff was nonsense. And that these men were just like wasting your goddamn time and playing in your face. Because when a man actually likes you, he shows up in the way that you've been asking for the whole goddamn time. And you're like, what? And then it's like, he's showing up as he's supposed to, but then you're like, is this an anomaly? Is this a unicorn? Am I supposed to be experiencing this? But what you realize is that the whole process was a cesspool, and it gaslighted you into thinking that was normal.
But then you're like suspicious because now you've dealt with all this bullshit, and now you're like, okay, when's the shoe gonna drop?
Yeah.
Right? And it makes you.
Wait, did you say it was like Lay's potato chips?
Yeah, you remember that? Remember when they used to say you can't eat just one? Can't have just one nigga.
That might just be a DC thing. That might just be a DC thing.
I feel so sorry for you, Tierra, because listen, I'm so glad to be gone from California because yes, hunty, they love sisters, all shapes, sizes, all of that. Out there, we was bottom of the totem pole. They ain't checking for black women like that in Cali. Here, shit. We the baby.
I'm moving.
Well, you need to.
I'm moving.
I'm moving.
It's too many options to settle. It's too many options to settle down. It's too many options.
It's too many options to settle down. See,
I'm settled. With that, we go look at a few questions.
Ultimately, we all want what you got, Lala. We all want what you got. But it's so many options that it just makes it hard to choose.
See, but if I don't have what Lala, if I don't got what Lala got,
throw the whole nigga away. Yes.
I want too many options. If I don't have the one option, I just want some options.
I thought you was gonna say throw the whole nigga away if you don't got what Lala.
No, I wasn't gonna say that.
I'll throw them whole away. Listen, all I need is that one, honey.
Me too.
That one to ride off in the sunset with me, honey. I'm trying to. I just want one. I'm trying to make them graduate, okay, to the goddess level. Cause I know a lot of them love to frequent the street urchin level. I'm just trying to, that one that can, climb that pyramid and be made a husband.
Well, I'm aiming for the rocket chair. Rocket chair on front.
Listen, that's the goal for all of us, Lala. Yeah. Seriously, like I was married 132 years, so I'm just having a good time.
Well, as you should. I don't know why people just assume that you know what? Everybody assumes that marriage is for everybody. It's not. Well, let's also reference the fact. Well, first of all,
that Cali drought. I'm sorry. She in that Cali drought. I know all about it, sis. I know all about it.
Help! I have lost control. Hey,
sorry. Listen, I feel you. That's why I could feel you. I know exactly what you talk about, Tierra.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
My bad. Sorry.
We have some graphics. perception of ambition in single women. A study found that single women may downplay their career ambitions in environments where these traits are visible to men. Nearly 3/4 of single women in an MBA program reported avoiding activities that would advance their careers to not appear ambitious or assertive, indicating a concern about how their ambition is perceived in the context of potential relationships. Wow. Men's attitude towards successful women. Cultural norms and stereotypes can lead to some men to feel intimidated by successful women. Some men may feel threatened when their female partners achieve greater success, potentially leading to relationship challenges. Wow. That's absolutely crazy. Now listen, I'm going to take a little section here while y'all soak in those stats that I just told you. And I want to let you know that we have launched one of the most amazing programs to help you and your partner. This is your opportunity. If you have a partner, do it together. All you have to do is sign up for FlyNubianMoneyClub.com. Guys, we have such a great thing that we are launching. Right now, it is in 30-day trial. And last weekend, we had an amazing training. I'm still floating on cloud nine from it, where I taught you how to buy a home. What does that look like? What does it mean for each step of the way? And I'm not talking about just getting pre-approved and then getting a realtor. We talked about inspections, types of houses you're going to see. The loan must fit the home. We went deep. And not only did we go deep, we went deeper and opened up the doors for you to open your mind to buy internationally. These are the types of things that we are bringing to you in the Fly Nubian Money Club to help you level up. And not just you. If that's something you and your partner want to do and you want to try, maybe y'all just like kind of all over the place. I want this, I want that. Maybe you can come together and really see what your options are together and build a foundation together. So make sure that you sign up right now, because in a couple of weeks, we're going to have another great training for FlyNubianMoneyClub.com. So you don't want to miss out. And you can actually rewatch that training if you join today. Now, Constance, I am going to ask you this because you have mentioned this a couple of times, and I know you say it funny, and I know that we all giggle, but this is really something that we do need to address. What do you think are some of the signs that your partner might not be supportive of your success?
Gaslighting.
What does that look like?
Gaslighting is making you think that you crazy. Gaslighting is dropping little hints about things, being more passive aggressive. You'll see little things where they try to act like they're happy for you, but they're really not. And they'll do things to try to sabotage different things. And then they'll act like you're the one tripping because they're not really doing that, because really, I said this, but then they act like that. So, you have some of those things where I think those are signs. And then you think, well, damn, am I crazy? Because wait a minute. And then when you call them out on it, they be like, I ain't say that. No, actually what I said was, you're tripping. See, the problem is you and it. So it's a whole thing.
And then you get into the whole ball of confusion thing.
And you go down this rabbit hole and you on this hamster wheel and you just like, it's this cycle you can't get off.
So Tiara, we talked about some flags. What is another flag that you think that we should be able to see and before in this relationship where someone is not being supportive of you?
Kind of along with what Constance said, sabotage was really big. Just like, just saying things, starting fights with you for no reason. Some things that I started to hear were like, maybe if I would be working with Morris Chestnut, let's just say I was working with Morris Chestnut, as a matter of fact. And he was like, I mean, you deserve a man like Morris. Morris has been married for 29 years and he's like a big brother to me. I do not want Morris Chestnut, right? Like, I would get things like that. You just deserve somebody bigger. Like, I don't think that I'm the kind of man for you, based on the men that I've been around and worked with. And it started with those things.
I got accused of being with Boyce Watkins.
Oh yeah, somebody, same.
My ex told my kid, yes, she was cheating on me with Boyce Watkins. I was like,
Lord,
my
ex
wow,
was like,
that was a new one.
My ex was like, "You like Les Brown?" I said, "Les Brown is 80 years old."
He's like my grandma.
He was like,
Wow.
you met Les Brown in Las Vegas. I did, to talk about speaking. He's the number one speaker in the world. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, these insecure ass dudes.
Wow. Okay.
Anything but to work on yourself, though. Everything but to do that self
work. Look, or work.
Okay, so I'm tossing it to you, Athena. I'm tossing that same question to you. What is a big red flag for you?
Lord, I'm not the worst person. I be telling y'all, my relationships are very low maintenance and low stress. If a man starts stressing me, I'd be thinking we need to break up. Like I'm so bad. A red flag for me would be in dating now, like emotional capacity, because the issue I used to have is I would meet these successful men and, you know, we would intellectually connect and all these other things, but they were just emotionally avoidant or deficient or emotionally constipated, whatever, right? They didn't have room for my emotions. And I realized that was a core need of mine. And I think a lot of people think ambitious women don't need love or don't need our emotions or looked after. Or I think we even need it even more because we have so much placed upon us that we're performing that when you come home to this person, you kind of want to have some kind of emotional safety and that man to be, you know, a soft place to land. And I think also a lot of mistake. And my dad, he's like a VP of this company. Only him and one other guy is not divorced. And I asked him once, I was like, why are these men divorced? Like, what's going on? And he said the mistake they made was thinking all they had to do was make money. And they never viewed their wives as like equal partners or looked at them as a maid or just felt like, you know, they had to play just a certain role. And I think that just having emotional capacity from both parties is very important and necessary, because no matter what you accomplish in life with these degrees and stuff, and I would see this in dating a lot too, is that I'm tired of these good on paper people. These people that have these accomplishments and good on paper, and you meet them and their character sucks, or they just don't have like emotional intelligence or the emotional capacity. And I think that that's what we need to get to as a group and as a society. We need to get back to that human level and that relational level and that emotional level, more so than, you know, capitalism on everybody's neck trying for us to accomplish and stay above inflation.
Well, I think that all of us have made some really valid points about that. And I just feel for women who have to go through this, because I don't think anybody should ever shrink. You know, it doesn't matter who makes you feel small. That's not living your journey, and that's not living your life journey. And if we're not walking in our life purpose, then what are we here for in the first place? If you can't take that journey with someone who truly wants to walk beside you with that, while you're also allowing them to walk their journey, then it's a sad situation. I don't want to be the one, if I'm so blessed to be 92, to turn around and say, I wish I coulda, shoulda, woulda. I don't want to be that person. So I feel like, you know, everybody deserves that kind of love. So Linda Evans Johnson says, insecurity, the women can't fix the man. The man needs to go to counseling to work out his own issues. And I'm pretty sure that if you see come to our show every once in a while, you'll see that we have therapists here, and they will be the first to tell you that is a true statement. You need to come and talk out your issues in order for you to be the best person possible in a relationship. Now, we have had such a wonderful conversation. I know y'all hear me say that every day, but I'm telling you, this is my go time. This hour that I spend here is intellectually stimulating to me. I love being able to talk to my panel and my sisters and hearing what people have to say. But now it's time to wind it down. So, Constance, I would like to hear your final thoughts and where we can find you, please.
First of all, I'd like to say, Lala, you are the wonderfulest host ever. You should host every single day of the week. I love it when you stay on task. You're so good. You keep us together. No. I said no close up, y'all. What y'all doing? Right. What are you doing? What are you doing? See, y'all, let me tell you something, audience. They called me 5 minutes before the show was supposed to start. I just came from the gym.
Focus.
Must get in the mug. Okay.
Focus.
All right. Let me tell you. I love Black women bosses. Okay. Do not shrink yourself for anyone. Black women don't shrink. I've done it, been there, done that. I'm writing a book about it right now. I got a book that's getting ready to be released with the Net 7 Collective. It is called Unbreakable. And it's about beautiful, brilliant, bold Black bosses. We are releasing it in the first part of the year. But the great thing is you don't have to shrink yourself for nobody. I want you to walk in every bit of your purpose. The Black women that I work with, they are scientists, they are doctors, they're lawyers, they're business owners, they're people who work in corporate America, and they listen to your girl got a PhD, a public high school diploma, and I'm helping them to increase their net worth to 7 figures, and it's working. So the next cohort of the Net 7 Collective starts in January. If you are interested in being a part of this community of beautiful, bold, brilliant Black women who are not only getting to the place where you want to be because they're unicorns like you, but they're going to help you to be able to do the same thing. And they want it for you as much as they want it for themselves. I created something that I needed for myself, and I surround myself with beautiful, dynamic women who are doing it too. So go to bookwithconstance.com. Otherwise, you can reach me everywhere. I am Constance Carter.
And that's your homework. That's your homework. You need to go and make sure that you follow Constance so that you can level up. That's what we do. That we're all about doing that. And you know what? You have to step into your power and your confidence. Please make sure that you go and you sign up and you book a session with her so that she can sit and talk to you about what your dreams and goals are and how she can help you achieve them. Tiara, what is your final thoughts and where can we find you?
Ladies, there is nothing wrong with wanting love. We all want love. Just don't let it break you. Don't let you exhaust yourself in your boundaries. Don't let yourself go. Don't let yourself your light be dim. Don't feel like you can't live your life in the way that you want to because of another person, because you want to keep another person happy, because that's only going to make you miserable. I think we've all done it. We've all tried to do it. I brought a man to an interview with me. I brought him to an interview with me and was like, hire him too. Like, I was dedicated. And, it's just important. And to this day, he still blames me for he was like, I just feel like you didn't do enough for me. You didn't help me enough. You help everybody. You working with all these celebrities. You helping them, but you can't help me. It's like, nigga, help you. So I would just implore you to to do your thing no matter what, because there is magic inside of you, and that thing that's been pulling and nagging on you is what you should be doing. And don't let nobody take that from you, because there is a man that will support you. You good, Constance? You good? You good?
Big balls of nerves.
You can't respond to my final thought. You can't respond to my final thought.
It's crazy. Okay.
Okay. So, like Lala said so beautifully, we do have another training coming up for Fly Nubian Money Club. I don't know if it'll be on the 31st, but hopefully it's Constance telling us how to make 6 or 7 figures. Her face.
I'm in here too.
A comprehensive plan to make 6 or 7 figures, and also introducing her next cohort. So hopefully that's what we're doing on the 31st.
Amen.
All right. But FlyNubianMoneyClub.com is where you can sign up. Please sign up for that today. Either way, if it's not Constance, it's definitely going to be somebody teaching you how to level up your money.
Amen.
But I think it's going to be Constance.
Amen. So listen, you want to make sure that you do that because, she does not play. Okay. Tiara does not play. All right. She got the email address to help you with your business. Look, you can even advertise with us with that magic email. So she does all things. Yeah. All things work together. Right. Yeah. So you want to make sure that you do that. You want to sign up for our club, and you also want to follow her as Miss Black Hollywood. All right, our beautiful goddess Athena, what is your final thoughts and where we can find you, please?
Listen, the one thing my mama did right was give me that name, honey, Athena the goddess. Okay, so listen. Black woman, you deserve love. Do not dim your light for no crusty ninja, okay? It don't work out in the end anyway. All right? Elevate yourself and find a man who is where you at or above, okay? Do not scale down below on street urchin level, because clearly we have enough examples to see that all you're going to come back up with is dust and allergies. If you are a woman who are looking to elevate in life, elevate in standard, everything from relationships and money, you can find all that I offer with elevatewithathena.com. There you'll find some programs. I just updated some programs, Wealthy Woman Shift, the AI Business Launch course if you want to get your money. And also be sure to join my exclusive list, because I'm working on my own community for women where we'll discuss all things wealth, relationship, life. My name's Athena. I'm a CPA and a wealth coach for women, and you can find me at We Wealth Women, my podcast, everything at elevatewithathena.com.
Elevatewithathena.com. Absolutely love that. That makes you so easy to find. Elevate with Athena. That's your homework. You make sure that you go and you follow her. She has a lot of good resources for you too. That's what I love about being a part of this sisterhood. We all help somebody do something else. It's what's the point of life if you don't turn around and help someone else? Because otherwise you're just out here catching strays. You need to really help someone else in this life so that they can better themselves, and you too will be blessed and rewarded. And here is my final thoughts. I know that I'm the minority in this situation. I know that I am extremely blessed to be married to the man of my dreams in my life, and I don't know what I would do without him. For my lowest days, he's always there to pick me up. And let me tell you something, I will catch a bullet for him as well. So he doesn't allow me to shrink, and I will never dull his shine. The love is available. Love is here. But sometimes you have to really evaluate yourself so that you know what your boundaries are and what your expectations are before you can even communicate that to your partner. So make sure that you know and love yourself before you decide what someone else should do to love you, because you may not even know exactly what that is. So it's as simple as that. Now, in 2025, we want to help elevate you, and I want to help elevate you. On my website, bit.ly/Laura Key Info, I have a lot of free resources. If you're thinking about moving abroad, you don't even know if you're ready, I have a little quiz at that website there so that you can kind of assess where you are on moving abroad. And I'm going to broaden your mind to really start thinking about if you should do that, if that's something in your life that you want to achieve. So go there and download that free assessment, and then make sure you sign up for Fly Nubian Money Club and go watch the replay. We would love to have you in the club. Ladies, what a great, great show we had today. I think we've expressed a lot of really valuable information, and I think that we have actually touched a lot of people who are in our viewership family. I want to say thank you for being so vulnerable. We laugh, we have fun, but thank you for being vulnerable about your experiences and how you have been through some things that wasn't so pleasant, and how you've had to kind of fix some things about how you wanted to see, how you wanted to be treated. There's nothing wrong with that. So listen, today is Friday, and that means we have the weekend off, and next week is Christmas and Hanukkah and then Kwanzaa and the New Year. So we have so much coming up. So here's what I want to say. Thank you to each and every one of you who are watching us now, and those of us who come every single day to support us. You are not taken for granted. We love you, we thank you, and we thank you for being here, because you could actually spend this time somewhere else, but you chose to spend it with us. So you guys have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and we will see you Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a great weekend. Be blessed. Bye.
Bye.